see the hill of the Wangi. The dark green line of trees going up over the hill is the boundary fence. The oak wood. On entering the oak wood from Kellis, if you look to the left, you will see the march fence going up over the hill towards Nakando. Moss End. Jimmy Smith and family stayed in the end next Kellis. Mrs. Scott and son Charles stayed in the other end. Charles taught German and French at Forest Academy. He travelled with us on Hayes' school bus every day. My grandfather, Wilson Campbell, farmed here during the First World War. Then Mr. and Mrs. William Sim and family. Jock, Willie and Mary. Murdy Monroe was the last tenant and is buried in a private burial ground at Clashdon. Croft Head. Looking beyond the Lossy up to the top of the hills, I think they're called the Craigs, is the farm of Croft Head. It is farmed along with Clashdon. Further into the hill, Clashdon itself. The brothers Andrew and Jimmy Murray farmed here. They had a housekeeper called Jenny of Clashdon. She had 2 daughters. The youngest was also called Jenny. She later married Scorgie, the bus driver, then Willie Sim of Black Hills. She had a few children. The park, farmed by the Sutherland family for many years. Alec married Madge Bluntich of Conaghy. They had 2 sons, Derek and Ian. Derek married Mary Reid, and they have 3 sons and a daughter. Neil, who farms here at the park, Graham, who farms at Easter Kellis, and Brian farms at Conaghy with his father and mother. Eileen is married to Gridger Taylor of Well Hill. Alec had the first tractor in Dallas, a blue Fordson on iron wheels. Tom Breck. Mr. and Mrs. William Young farmed here. I never heard of any family, but they brought up 2 boys, James Forsyth and Robert Gild. Robert stays in Forres. The horseman was Geordie Thompson. He was a keen fisher, by hook or by crook. He married Isabella Patterson the maid. They now stay in Elgin, and Geordie still enjoys fishing on the Spey. Then there was Jock Sinclair and his brother. I think he was a brother of Mrs. Cant of Tyrcastle. I drove a new green Fordson tractor with iron wheels home from Elgin for him. Then there was Mr. and Mrs. Donald McRae and family. Dewey, Mary, John, Kirstine, Willie and Joe. Donald took in wintering sheep every year. When Donald shifted to Chapelton, Dewey, who married Barbara McIntosh, farmed here. They retired to Longbride. Now Mr. and Mrs. Stuart McPherson. His wife is Amy Shand of the Ardagh. You know. Tom Breck from the road end. Craig End. This was the keeper's house for this part of the estate. Mr. and Mrs. Robertson, better known as Craigie. They had 2 sons, Alistair and Gary. Then there was Mr. and Mrs. Laidlaw. Then a Mr. and Mrs. Hughes and family. He worked with the Foresters squad on the estate. Tyrcastle, Mr. and Mrs. William Cant and son Jamesy and daughter Janet, followed by Mr. and Mrs. William Cartnachan family, now Morris Ross, a son of Ian and Joan Ross of Coldholm. Then where that clump of broom is, on the hill in the field, that was the Royal Observer Corps lookout post during the war. And the house with a red roof was Tyrcastle Cottage, where Mrs. Garrow and son Jock and daughter Belle stayed. Also Robert Innes stayed with them. Beyond the cottage you see Hillock Head Farm, and swinging round you're looking up towards the Lennox. You see the school, swinging round to Dallas Village. The High Church Manse. The Reverend J. A. Matheson was the last minister. My aunt, Ginny Menzies, was his housekeeper. Then she left. Bill and Sheila Ingram stayed here, Sheila being housekeeper. During the war, there was evacuees stayed here with the minister. Miss Groves was their supervisor. In the garden here was the church, where I remember coming to the Sunday school in the 1930s. I am now coming from Pluscarden. The hill of Edenvale is the first farm. Mr. and Mrs. John Allen with son John. He drove the horses. He played the melodeon, and Jock McIver from Edenvale played the fiddle at local dances. Their pay for playing from 9 p.m. till 2 a.m. was 10 shillings each, 50p in today's money. Molly Douglas and Mary Chalmers also stayed here. Molly played the organ at the old church until they moved to Elgin, where they now stay. Sandy Stephen of Hatton now farms the land. The Wangy Croft. This is the road to the croft. Mr. and Mrs. Farquharson stayed here, with son George and daughter Nell, who later married Johnny MacDonald and had 2 children, Margaret and Lachlan. Nell stays with Margaret at Woodside today. Mains of Edenvale, Mr. and Mrs. Charles Gill and daughter Betty. They flitted to the Hall farm at Pluscarden. Then Mr. and Mrs. William Douglas and daughters Nan and Elsie. They brought up 2 boys, Oliver MacArthur and Gordon Smith. Oliver later married Minnie Mackenzie. I drove home their first tractor from Elgin, a green Fordson on iron wheels. Next tenant was Bob Uni from Runnygoop. Son Jock drove the tractor, a Davy Brown. Bob retired to Longmorn, and Jock, who married Bunty Jenkins, farmed here. Jock and Bunty retired to Forres. His son Michael now farms at Remichi. Breach. Mr. and Mrs. William Campbell and daughter Kathleen, followed by the Dunbars, stayed here. Craig Mill, Neil Mill, Mr. and Mrs. Simpson, then Mr. and Mrs. Bill Mackenzie from Easter Branchell. Their son Bill had the Rafford accordion band